Hi, welcome to Tea with the Fertility Godmother. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I wanted to share with you some critical foods that you should avoid when you're trying to get pregnant. I'm Denise Noyer-Erez, and the people I work with, my patients, they call me the Fertility Godmother. And I get to work with women and couples in my clinic in Westlake Village, California, and all over the world, helping them prepare their bodies to get pregnant, stay pregnant, and have a healthy baby. And today, stay tuned because we are going to talk about some critical foods that you really should avoid for overall wellness, but especially if you are wanting to get pregnant. So let's jump right in. One of the things I'm going to say, just do the most important one first, okay? And please, if you have any ahas or you have any comments or concerns, please go ahead and share them in the comment section. And be sure to share this video and give us a thumbs up, please, so we can know that we are moving in the right direction and supporting you. But one of the biggest things you are going to want to give up or minimize, I like to use an 80-20 rule. Sometimes even more, but 80-20 rule, if you've heard of it before, really applies to so many different things in your life. You want to do 80, well, on this case, you want to do 80%, trying to be as healthy as possible. And then allow yourself some wiggle room, right? We always want to allow ourselves some wiggle room so we're not so rigid and tight, because then that just sets us up for failure and stress when things are so rigid. But in general, about 80% of the time, at least start there, or and work your way up. You want to avoid processed food. And the reason you want to avoid processed food is because of all the chemicals that they put in there, the additional salt, the additional sugar, and it's just not as healthy, and unhealthy fats that are put in processed food. Also, you want to avoid chemicals. So in canned food, for example, it's lined, most of the cans are lined with BPA. And even the BPA-free cans, I'm hoping they're better quality. They don't have the chemicals in there. And they're not like plastic bottles, right? Because plastic bottles is another thing that you want to really make sure you avoid at least 80% of the time, because you are getting these chemicals, these BPA or the BPS, even in the BPA-free plastic bottles, they put so many chemicals to make plastic, and then that gets into your water and you're drinking it and you think you're doing yourself a good deed, but the truth is you're putting you're filling your body up with endocrine disruptors. And unless you are only do that a little bit, try to do that as least as possible. I'm still of the school that I believe you should have water if you're thirsty. So sometimes road trips, we don't have enough. Sometimes I don't carry enough water, so I'll have to stop at a gas station and I'll try to get a glass bottle if I can. But sometimes they don't have the glass bottles, or they're like little, and I like a lot of water, so I will get a plastic bottle. So it's not like I've completely eliminated the plastic, but I'm thinking about it, and I just really try to make a conscious decision to avoid plastic bottles as much as possible. So plastic is another really important thing for you to avoid. And not just for fertility, but for wellness. And I believe that the healthier you are, the healthier your eggs are going to be, the healthier your sperm is going to be, the better chance you have of conceiving, because your body will be more imbalanced, the better chance you have of having a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. And you want to do everything you can. I know if you're watching me right now, I know you want to do everything you can to make this possible for yourself, and to have you want to have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. So important, right? So it may be sounding cliche, but I can't emphasize, and it's going to be coming out more and more, how these toxins are affecting us and in our body, and not only now, but for generations to come. So now's the time to start doing what you can to become as healthy as possible, and avoiding some of these products that we know cause havoc in our systems. They mess with our endocrine system. They mess with our ovaries and uterus and our whole energy system, our energy in itself. So it's so important. So you want to avoid processed foods. So what exactly are processed foods? Anything that's already made for you, except fresh foods. You know, there's a big market right now, and it seems like it's a growing market. And I happen to love it about fresh foods being prepared for you. I buy fresh salads every day for lunch I use a Service California chef, and they make me this organic, delicious, healthy salad. And I know that it's high quality and not, and it's pre-made because we're so shortage on time, right? We have a shortage of time. So I know that's why people go to those processed foods, frozen foods, chips, canned foods, because it's easier and it seems to be faster, but it's really not worth it. And again, I'm talking about 80% of the time. And again, the plastic bottles are going to be really important for you to avoid. The other thing is fast food. That's going to go along with the processed food. So what I like to do if I feel like I need fast food, if I didn't prepare properly, I choose healthy fast food restaurants, or sometimes even grocery stores, because they all have prepared food for you and they have fresh food. But Sharky's is one of my favorites because they have organic options there. Sometimes I'll run into Whole Foods or what's it called? Sorry, I'm having one of those days where my words aren't connecting. Didn't sleep so good last night. I had a lot going on. But a lot of grocery stores, they have salad bars. And I know there's stuff on there, but it's going to be still so much better for you than, having already processed food that's already prepared with the plastic and the chemicals. It's really, really crazy. And the good news is that people are making a stand by their demands in the marketplace. So we're getting so many more options, and that's the only way we can really make a change, is hitting these companies in their pocketbook, because that's their bottom line, and that's where we're going to make the change. So if you are making changes by choosing healthier foods for yourself, for the most part, eventually it's going to become more cost effective for us, and it'll be more plentiful. So you really do have a power in the marketplace, and also just for your own body and your own self. The other thing is I wanted to share with you is dairy. So if you're researching online, you might be wanting to avoid dairy. And I think that dairy can be helpful. If you choose to have dairy, if you don't have a problem digesting dairy, it doesn't make you bloated, you don't feel inflamed and sluggish afterwards, then if you have a little bit of dairy, and a little bit I would say would be, maybe a couple servings a week, or maybe 1 or 2 servings at the max a day. I think 2 every day is a lot, honestly. You want to choose whole fat dairy. So that's going to be really helpful for you, because that will not only give you more nutrients, but it's going to be less processed, and it's also going to have that fat that you need to help balance out the sugars that dairy has in there. So it's actually better for you, even though you might tend to go for that non-fat, and it tastes better, and you'll feel fuller longer, and it really just makes everything better having a little bit of fat. So that can be really, really helpful. So those are 3 things that I feel aren't really talked about too much. Hopefully you aren't drinking too much, especially if you're trying to, and you've already ovulated. That's going to make a big difference. But if you're trying to conceive, alcohol should not be part of your regimen, of your daily routine or your weekly routine too often, because even though there's some benefits to having a small amount of alcohol, too much alcohol is toxic, and you want to have a healthy baby, so you want to really keep the alcohol limited. Drugs obviously should not be taken when you're trying to conceive. I mean, recreational drugs, marijuana, cocaine, those type of drugs, you definitely don't want to be on. Hopefully that you know that already, and that's not a problem for you. And sugar is another one that you probably have heard about that you really want to limit. So there's some things you can do to really help get your body healthy and get into feeling good and resetting, because there's so much information out there. And if you want to make these choices, you want to make healthy choices. I know you really want to do everything you can so that you can not only get pregnant but have that healthy baby. I know you really want to do everything you can. And so it's so important to just make some modifications in your daily habits. And really all it takes is making different choices when you go to the grocery store. And it's really just being a little bit mindful about that. And that's going to help you. You're going to feel so much more energized, and you're going to feel so much better when you start choosing foods that really nourish your body, and avoid these foods in general that are really toxic and play havoc on your whole endocrine system. And your endocrine system is what controls your hormones. It controls how you feel, and it controls your hormones to help you get pregnant. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. Those are some things I don't see talked about too much. And if you are, I'm just going to throw this out there. I am doing my annual cleanse. I actually do a cleanse twice a year. And I love to start the new year fresh with a nice, gentle detox. If that's something you would love to join me in, I have an amazing fertility cleanse that I've put together. I'm using it for many years, and people love it. Even people that have done cleanses before. It's going to help you, first we help educate you so that you know what works best for your body, and then we help you go through this process where you can reset your whole body so that you get rid of those toxins and you get rid of some of those cravings that you have, if you have any cravings, and your energy is going to be amazing. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So if you want to join me, just go ahead and comment in the comment section, or reach out to us and find out more about it, because it's really awesome. You don't have to do it with me, but I just thought it's fun. I always offer it to my patients and to my friends and family, so we can have a support system and do it together. I'll be sharing more about that another time, but I felt like that was a good thing to tell you about right now. All right, you guys. So recap: decrease on the processed foods, eliminate the plastics as much as possible, have whole fat dairy, and keep it limited to about maybe 2 or 3 times a week would be best. Once a day, a small amount would be the next best. And watch that sugar and the alcohol, the caffeine. Okay, all those things are really important. But you'll find that once you eliminate them or you decrease them, that you really don't need that much, and that you'll be feeling so much better. All right, here's to your health, happiness, and fertility. And please subscribe to us, and we'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Mwah. Bye.